I'm Jonathan Paula, and welcome to Behind the Reel.
Welcome back to Behind the Reel, the show that takes a real look behind the personality shaping online video. I'm your host, Andy Smith, and today's special guest is Jonathan Paula. He's a professional YouTuber from Boston, perhaps best known for his role as creator of The Microwave Show. His company, Jogwheel Productions, specializes in creating new media content for the web, where most recently, he went on an 8,000-mile trip as part of the Ford Fiesta movement, vlogging along the way. Not only am I a fan of his work, but I also think he's learned some invaluable lessons along the way in his journeys that he can share with you guys today. So hopefully you find some value in that. So please welcome to the show, Jonathan Paula. I'm going to start this off like I do every interview. What are your top tips for video marketers and content creators?
If I had to give only one tip to video creators, Andy, I would probably just say read the YouTube Playbook. It is an incredibly valuable resource that not enough people know about, and something I wish I had when I was coming through the ranks 8 years ago.
That's really a great tip. The Playbook is a must-read for content creators. I'll include a link below if you don't know what he's talking about. You can go check it out and see what he's talking about. My next question then, Jonathan, how do you predict what the emerging trends are going to be, and how do you capitalize on those?
If I had any predictions on emerging trends, I would own a yacht or two, because I could have filmed and produced Gangnam Style before Psy did, and I would have like $1 billion right now. So I can't predict emerging trends. I don't think anyone really can. I can only kind of ride the wave as well as I know how and try to stay afloat in this new media marketplace for as long as possible. So it's not about predicting trends, it's about keeping up with them as they happen.
The Microwave Show was really one of the biggest series to ever be on YouTube. What did you learn through doing that series?
My time producing Is It a Good Idea to Microwave This was certainly a valuable one. We did 350 episodes over 4 years, and we basically ran the gambit of every little trick and thing you can do to produce a web show and make it successful. And we learned a lot of valuable lessons in the process for sure. I think one of the ones that we started off with, and we were probably one of the first web shows to ever do this, is producing a chunk of content at a time. Our second season is 26 episodes. We filmed them all in a single evening. And that's the kind of just small little trick, as obvious as it might be today, 7 years ago was a big thing no one was really thinking of. And we were scheduling our episodes months in advance to line up with these tentpole activities and dates. And we were producing them all at once so we could get it out of the way and save ourselves a lot of time and headache. And it's easier for schedules, it's easier for production time, it's easier for production budgets. And that was something we learned early on that I have since adapted in basically every single show I produce. If I can produce a lot of stuff at once, do it, because it's going to be easier than trying to spread it out.
For all the success the show had, how hard was it to decide to end it?
It may surprise some to hear this, but honestly, it wasn't that hard a decision at all. By the end of the show's run, like I said, we'd done 350 plus episodes. We were kind of tired of it. It had become formulaic, it had become sort of stale, and we wanted to move on to bigger and better things, and I didn't want to keep editing the same old thing every single day. So we decided mutually that it was better to go out on a high note and end with a bang than to kind of drag the show kicking and screaming long past its popularity.
It's pretty evident you've put a lot of effort into branding all your content, whether it's the Microwave Show, movie night, or your personal vlogs. How important is branding to the success of a channel?
Well, thank you for noticing, Andy. Yeah, I produce a lot of different web shows, and branding is important to make them all successful, especially when you produce a number of them on the same channel like I do. So it was really important early on to brand the shows and the channel to make sure people understood, okay, this isn't just that, it's also this, this, and this, and you can find those videos with these people on these days of the week, and here's when they air, here's what it's all about. I think branding is really important in the new media space because first and foremost it starts with SEO, search engine optimization, and that's how people discover your program and learn how to subscribe and stay with it. And it's important to let people know this is what we're doing, this is how it works, here's everything you need to know under the sun for this one show. And if nothing was branded, people would be like, well, am I watching, is this a movie review now, or am I watching you on roller coasters? It would be obvious when you watch, but you want it to be obvious before they watch. And I think that's really what branding is about, is making a message clear and concise to the viewer before they even click on anything.
From when you started until now, what would you say is the biggest change you've seen on YouTube?
2006 was a long, long time ago, and YouTube has changed dramatically since then. The single biggest change, however, is not a negative one. There are plenty of things that YouTube screwed up along the way, and I've complained about every single one of them. But the biggest change since I began is the introduction of the partner program, which made my very livelihood, my career, possible. So, without a doubt, introducing the AdSense to YouTube and the partner program completely changed my life. It afforded me the ability to do this for a living, to buy a house, to support my family, and that has been a great blessing, and one I'm very appreciative and very thankful to have come along the way. So I'm glad they decided to offer revenue, because if I were just forced to do all these videos for free, I probably would have jumped ship to another website a long time ago.
It's pretty amazing to think that people can do what they love on YouTube and make money for it, but there has to be at least one thing you'd change on the site, right?
That is a good question, Andy. There are a lot of things on the site I don't like and would like to see improved, but only slightly. Tweaks here and there, little minor fixes would make the site run a whole lot better. Subscription boxes. If I published a video and it actually was seen by all 725,000 of my subscribers, that'd be awesome. Instead, I'm lucky if maybe 3,000 actually get it on their homepage. And then of that 3,000, only a couple actually click on it. So it is really disappointing that the website does not function like it used to, where if you had 100,000 subscribers, you could rest assured you would go to get at least 75,000 of those to see the video in the first few days. Today, that percentage is not 75%, it's like 3%. I would love to fix that. I would love to add features that allow you to replace an older video with a higher quality copy instead of having to re-upload it. It'd be great to save all the comments when you switch from one file to another. I would love to see the option to do mass annotations across an entire channel, or if you want to do next video, previous video, set those up and have it applied to everything. I would love to see global description footers where you could put all your social media links in the bottom of just a text block and have it automatically applied to every single video. Things like that seem like no-brainers. They should have applied them a long time ago. I would also love to see the return of watch page channel banners. That was a great tool that they got rid of, I want to say, in 2010, but you used to have a banner for your channel that would live under every single video on every single watch page. And I thought it was a great little source of branding. The shows feature, they've not gotten rid of it, but they've all but abandoned updating it for 3 or 4 years now, and that was a really great tool where you could group shows into seasons with playlists that had giant thumbnails on them. They would automatically start no matter where you clicked in the show. It was a great feature, but they haven't updated it in years, and now it's nothing more than like a glorified playlist function, and it doesn't really work anymore. So I would bring back some of the features they removed, add some other things, and tweak things and make sure they work correctly, and this website would be perfect.
One thing you do differently on your channel that some other channels don't do is you have a lot of different content. You have the roller coaster show, movie night, is it a good idea to microwave this? And you've got viewers to accept that there will be different shows on the channel. How hard was it to convince people that it's okay to have different content on a channel like that?
For me, I don't think it was really difficult to produce a variety of content because the microwave show did so well early on that it kind of made everything else successful by proxy. And it was a slow build. None of our videos ever went viral. So we never had that huge influx of confused fans all at once going, what is this other show? I didn't subscribe for this. People that subscribed found us organically and generally knew what they were getting into from the outset. It wasn't like until 4 years after the microwave show began that we finally got our first video with 1 million hits. So because we kind of grew from within and expanded via word of mouth, that really helped people kind of accept what we were doing slowly. If we had just one day flipped a switch and went from producing 1 show to 6, it would have upset people, but we were always producing a variety of content. And I've been doing movie reviews since before I did microwaves, and we did the Roller Coaster Commotion show kind of in conjunction with, I think, the 2nd or 3rd season of the microwave show. So they all kind of lived symbiotically from the outset, and that worked for us.
One of the coolest things you've done lately is be a part of the Ford Fiesta movement. How did you link up with Ford, and how can creators put themselves in a situation to do something similar?
Well, I first heard about the Fiesta movement in 2009 when I saw a number of my friends and YouTube peers get brand new cars and do all these great videos, and I was like, well, I want to be part of that. And sure enough, a year later, they had a 2nd chapter. I heard about it through the grapevine, signed up, did my little interview video and application, and was thrilled to hear back that they wanted me to be a part of their Boston chapter. And I had a lot of great fun, met a lot of great people, got to work with new equipment, new toys, got a new car for a few months, and came this close to even getting to keep it at the end. So it was a lot of fun, and I was even thrilled to hear they wanted me back again in 2013 for the 3rd chapter. And that was a wonderful opportunity that really changed my life because I got to meet so many great people, got a chance to win all these cool prize money, and just getting to be a part of a bigger, more professional movement and expand my portfolio with better produced content, with better people, and more people get a chance to see it on a higher platform. And that's the kind of opportunity that sometimes just comes down to luck. You have to be in the right place at the right time or have the right presence and audience for a brand to reach out and want to work with you. Other times it's about who you know and who your friends are. And for me, if somebody comes to me and says, hey, we want you to produce a video for the WWE, and I'll be like, well, I'm not a big fan of wrestling, but I have a friend over here who does a fitness channel, perhaps you should contact him. And it's about paying it forward to your friends and colleagues who you know will be a better fit than you are. And I've got a number of opportunities and brand deals over the years from friends of mine who had to pass on a project for one reason or another. They said, well, I'm not going to do this, but you should call my friend Jonathan. He might be better suited. And I've been really thankful to my friends who have given me some of these gigs and jobs. And in return, I've kind of tried to pay it forward to my friends and colleagues who kind of are in similar situations where something that won't work for me, I'll pass it along to them. So one way is just to be in the right spot in the right time, and maybe you'll get lucky and Coca-Cola will say, we want you to do this commercial. Other times it's because your friend gave you a phone call and said, hey, I just forwarded your name to this guy, hope you don't mind. And it's like, no, that sounds great, I'm looking forward to it. And outside of that, just, produce good content really consistently, and hopefully someone will notice along the way.
Recently, there have been a lot of networks being bought up and acquired by bigger production companies. What do you think of that trend and how it'll impact YouTube? And what would it take for you, as one of the last holdouts of the independent side of YouTube, what would it take for you to join a network yourself?
I think the only thing that trend signifies is that old media is finally coming around and respecting new media and realizing that's where the money and opportunities may be in the future. And for me, to join a network, I've been very reluctant to over the years. I'm one of the last remaining big channels without a network. But I've always wanted to kind of stay my own route and run my own ship and manage all the things myself. I like to see everything, and I like to be able to control everything, and kind of giving up that power, giving up that control, and a percentage of my revenue is never something I've found particularly attractive. But the one thing that would kind of make me jump ship and kind of buy into this big network space we have now on YouTube is if they were able to actually concretely offer me real benefits, real revenue, real opportunities that I wasn't able to secure on my own. If they can get me permission to film at an amusement park, if they can get me brand deals I couldn't get on my own, or if they can just provide some level of support that I can't do myself, that's what would get me to jump ship. But as of right now, I've always been very, very happy staying independent and keeping 100% of all my revenue.
Well, Jonathan, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate you taking your time out for the show. Are there any last words you have before you go?
Thanks again, Andy. It has been great being here on Behind the Reel. Hopefully you and your audience learned a few tips, tricks, or insights behind my background. I've been on this site for 8 years, almost 1 million subscribers across my network, and 400 million views later. I'm still not tired of it, still excited to produce a lot more stuff. So if you'll excuse me, I do have to get back to editing Movie Night. It has been a pleasure. Thanks for having me on, and have a good one.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode with Jonathan Paula, and as an added bonus for those of you who made it this far in the interview, I'm going to include a link right here to a spoof I did of The Microwave Show as proof that I am a fan of The Microwave Show and I am stupid and crazy and have been around YouTube for a minute. You can see a crazy spoof I did in my own home a couple Easters ago about The Microwave Show. I thought it was kind of funny. Hopefully you guys will too. It was on one of my older channels. I don't know. Thought it might be a treat you guys might enjoy. In any case, I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, make sure to share it around, give it a thumbs up, comment below, and I'll see you next time on Behind the Reel.